Lazarina Matuta is a self-taught multidisciplinary artist whose practice explores African cultural identity through dynamic storytelling and layered materiality. She's exhibited in various galleries and public spaces and has completed numerous mural commissions for diverse organizations. Now, her work has been recognized with the Cynthia Zukas Young Artist Award. This was back in 2020, the FNB Visual Arts Award in 2024, and ABSA L'atelier in 2024 as well. So she now joins us this morning virtually as we explore more through what the Zambian art scene has to offer. Lazarina, good morning. On that note, welcome to the SABC and thank you for making time to chat with us here.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning.
Lazarina, if you can take us back to where it all began for you, tell us about that process of art making, the creative process that you undergo. What does creativity look like for you?
I think creativity for me is risk. I think as an artist, for you to get to the next level in your artistic endeavor, you do have to take risks that may or may not resonate with your audience. So for me, I think I'm always looking for the next thing that's gonna take me to the next point in my creative journey.
Okay, so speaking about risk on a daily basis then, what serves as some of the inspirations for your work? How do you practically implement that?
I think honestly, everything, because I'm painting about culture, I'm painting about tribes, myths, and I am part of this culture. So I think for me, it's pretty easy. I wake up in the morning, I'm part of the culture, I go about my day and I sort of learn as well. I do a lot of research. I think that's very important for me. As an artist, it helps me sort of navigate the stories I'm trying to tell, bring to life from the past. So honestly, the inspirations are everywhere, every day, everywhere I go. My family, my friends, people I don't know, it's everywhere. It's amazing.
All right, so that immersion is important, and oftentimes your work explores the relationship between traditional African culture as well as modern art. And perhaps you could elaborate a little bit further on what that means. How do you translate that visually?
I think I would like to call it a bridge. I think for me, as I work, in my sort of the style of work I'm doing in my head, I'm thinking I'm bridging the past and the present. So I tend to bring stories from the past about where I come from, about my tribe, Zambia has 72 tribes, so there's so much to draw from. So yeah, I work with the stories that we have and I just go around that and it works somehow. It works. I'm very thankful for that. It works somehow. So, yeah.
So looking at that diversity and also just the history and the heritage at large, if we're looking at the overall Zambian art scene, what's been reflected through that art space?
As I said before, I think Zambia has 72 languages, tribes, which is very diverse. So you're going to see artists from different backgrounds and different spaces, and they all have something that they're bringing to the table. And I think for me, it's very interesting. It's very amazing. I think I'm very lucky to be in a time where I have artists that have gone before me. I have artists that are with me now, and I have artists that will come afterwards after me. So for me, there's like so many things to look at before, now, and after. So it's a very exciting environment in the Zambian art scene for me personally. And I think we have so much space to grow because everyone is so dynamic, everyone is talented, and everyone is sort of trying to tell their story in a way that they know best. And I respect every artist's journey, every artist's inspiration.
And so speaking about that dynamism, and because there's so much on offer and so many contributing to that conversation, tell us about the exposure that's on offer, the support that's also offered to Zambian creators in general. What more could be done?
I think a few more things could be done, but so far I think we are doing pretty well for a small country in the center of Africa that's, landlocked and doesn't have like so much information out there. I think we're doing pretty well in the art scene. And I think, as I mentioned, because there's so many artists that are so talented and so willing to like share stories from here, I honestly believe that we are heading the right direction. And yeah, you're going to see a lot more from the Zambian art scene. Hopefully, the organizations that are there to support the artwork will continue to do so because personally I'm very thankful. I think there are a lot of organizations currently that are pushing the art scene. I could mention a few. There's Alliance Francaise, that's the French embassy. There's 3070 Gallery, there's Lettre Trust, there's Henry Tayali Gallery. So if you come to Lusaka, you come to Zambia, you're able to see so many of these amazing, talented artists just showing their work, telling their stories, and just doing the most in these places. So I'm thankful, but I'm also hopeful that there will be more that will be done in the future.
And speaking about, all those, organizations that have supported the work, is there also a funding issue? If we're looking at the amount of resources that is allocated, given the diversity of the scene at large, what's the reality on the ground on that front?
I think, from my perspective, I think the art scene is still growing. Like I said before, we're a small country. That means we are a very small art scene at the moment, but there are still artists that have laid the foundation for us. There are artists that are doing the work now, and there will be artists in the future. So at the moment, we are still navigating the art scene, I would say, in my opinion. But I think it's not something that should be like scary or taunting for artists because the talent is there, everything is there. We just need more time to develop the entire thing together as artists, as a team.
All right, that is such a positive outlook, and thank you for sharing that reality on the ground. I think just as we wrap up, I just want to look at some of your showcases at the ABSA L'atelier workshop in Johannesburg. How did that go? Your product design and the creative visuals with Jameson Irish whiskey.
Amazing. I loved it. I think both of those events for me personally were so amazing. I got to learn so much from the artists that were there. For the L'atelier last year, I got to meet artists from Ghana, from Nigeria, from South Africa, of course, fantastic. Everyone was so kind. Everyone was so helpful. Everyone was like on top of it. And the ABSA team as well was so caring. I do remember, I think because I had to take a flight from Lusaka to Johannesburg, I had caught a cold, which is kind of the same as now, but I caught a cold, but the ABSA team was on top of it. They helped me out, and I had a wonderful few days there in Johannesburg. And with the Jameson, same. I think the team that actually organized the event itself was from South Africa. So at the time, it was blending different ideas, different cultures, and stunning, amazing. All the artists, the team, so exciting. Taking the artwork from the gallery and taking it out into the space, amazing. I loved it.
Amazing with the capital A, capital letters. Lazarina, thank you for chatting to us, and thank you for sharing your story. This morning, we're in conversation with award-winning Zambian visual artist Lazarina Matuta, of course, on her creative journey and the story behind her artworks.